Hello once again, students. So once again I have a blank shell right here. I'm going to run the module and I'll show you exactly what it's going to wind up looking like when you complete it, and then we're going to go and make sure that we go and do it in real time and follow along, and we'll get you to learn how to make it. So I'm just going to go and run my shell here. Whoops, come on. Let me go into the actual option I need to. Run module. There we go. So here we go. This is the original title of my book, The Tale of the Orange Octopus. This is in uppercase, The Tale of the Orange Octopus. This is in lowercase, The Tale of the Orange Octopus. This is the tale in title format, The Tale of the Orange Octopus. And this is it, but with the word replaced, Purple Octopus. So, obviously, you could probably just make all just print statements and just physically type all these things. But we're going to get into this video, we're going to learn how to make ourselves a variable and how to edit that variable. And this is all, once again, just all strings, all just text. We're not getting into anything super fancy here, so I will just delete all of this Hangman Horror stuff from the previous video, and let's start over. So, first things first, make sure you have your name on it. I don't care if you comment it, but, make sure you have your name on your work. Okay? So, there we go. So, and what we're first going to do, the very first thing we're going to wind up doing, and first let me just zoom in to make sure everyone can see this. I'm just going to do something like this. I'm just going to say book title equals. And I can type in whatever it is I want to type in here. I can make my book title Bob. Okay? And then when I just simply print something, and I print, book title, what do you think it's going to print? It's going to print Bob. So if I hit execute, it printed Bob. This right here, this word book title is just this is what is known as a variable. This black text, and you see how it highlighted it around here as well, it recognized that this item and this item are the same. Both of them are the same thing. So all that is doing is saying, hey, computer, I have something on this program that's going to be called book title. And at some point in time, I want you to remember that, and we're going to use it again for something else. That's all that's telling me. So, I could have named this anything I want. But think of it like this. You're opening up a bucket. You're putting a bucket in your computer, and you're saying, hey, I'm going to put something inside this bucket. And I want to remember it for later, because sometime later I'm going to take out what's inside the bucket and put it elsewhere. So, right now I have a bucket named book title. Inside book title is Bob, and it's a string. There's the start of the string, there's the end of the string. So when I print book title, the computer is going book title. What was that? Oh, it's right here. What was in there? Bob. Therefore, I'm going to print Bob. Now, I could change this to, Panther. And then when I print, Panther, it'll still print Bob. Because it's the same bucket. It remembers that bucket name. Now, if I were to put Panthers instead, see there's an S there now, and there's no S here. The computer is not going to understand that. It doesn't know. It even says there, name, Panther is not defined. Because it's going Panther, 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 Panther. There's nothing in here called Panther. There's a Panthers with an S, but that's not the same thing. So, my recommendation is don't give yourself something like, function 1, because then you're going to wind up having function 2, function 3, function 4, function 5. Whatever you decide like naming these guys, make sure it is something that is understandable. Like, if this entire program is me changing up a book title. So therefore, I should probably name this, the book title. Or if you want to just call it, title, that's fine as well. But as long as it makes some sort of sense to you, make sure that whatever you name it something that you can easily identify what it is. If this is the price, why would you name it book title if it's the price? And also, make sure whatever you name it up here, you will also have to name it the same thing when you want to use it. So, be in a habit of that. So I'm going to make my book title, and you don't have to use the exact same book title that I am, but I'm just calling it, you know, The Tale of the Orange Octopus. And I'll, you know, take that a little bit down just to 200 just so I can see more of the screen here. So there's the print book title, and of course it'll print out The Tale of the Orange Octopus. So I'm just going to make a multi-string thing here that we did last time, so let me just put a comma there, and, you know, so I'll just do something that says, like, so I'll just do, like a new line here, and I'll say, you know, this is the original title, and then, you know, I'll just make up myself another new line, and then just to differentiate, I'll give it a couple of tabs. Tab, tab, whoops, tab, tab, tab. There we go. So now I have myself execute, and this is the original title, The Tale of the Orange Octopus. Easy enough to see, that sort of stuff. You get what's happening. So, now we're going to take this, and we're going to change around some of the stuff inside of it. For every single function, every single thing, every string, every integer, every boolean, anything inside the code has some stuff that you can actually edit from it. You can add numbers, you can subtract letters, you can do stuff like that. And we're going to just start manipulating this a bit. So let me just, you know, boop, boop, and I'm just going to copy this line, copy, and I'll just paste it. Okay? So this is the original title, but I don't want the original title right here. I want, you know, this is the, you know, the uppercase title. Okay? So now when I hit execute, oh, so this is the uppercase title, but it's not an uppercase. But it's not uppercase. I said I want the uppercase title, but I want it to be uppercase. I mean, I guess I could physically type out, you know, The Tale of the... Yeah, but, you know, I don't want to do that. I instead just want to focus on editing that one little thing right there, that book title. I want to just edit that. So let me... Well, it's not going to matter because it's at the very end of it, so it doesn't necessarily make any difference. So, the book title is the object. If I put a period right after it, I am now inside the book title. So now I can type in specific codes based on what it is we're working with, and we're working with a string. Because of the quotes, I know it's a string. I can change the functions of the I can change little attributes of the string. So if I say book title period, now I'm inside the book title. So now that I'm inside it, I can just simply say upper, and then I have to open and close with these little parentheses. So dot upper, open, close parentheses, and that means that now, when I hit execute, this is the uppercase title, The Tale of the Orange Octopus. You see how everything is uppercase, as opposed to this, which was different. So now, let me just, you know, copy, and I will just move that down a little bit. This time, instead of doing uppercase, let me do lowercase. Now, obviously, if dot upper was uppercase, what do you think the lowercase would be? It would be lower. So book title, there's the name of my object. There it is, it's right there. And I'm going to go inside the object, and I'm going to change everything to lowercase. So now, let me just, when I execute this, now everything's in lowercase. There it goes. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Let's do this one more time, and then we're going to get into the trickiest one last. Yep. Paste. There we go. So this is my this is the I guess this is the title, right? Because it's in title format. So I'll just call this title case. Why not? Title case is not a real word, but I'm going to say it is today. So if upper is uppercase and lower is lowercase, what would title case be? It would be dot title. And now, what it'll wind up doing when I execute this is it turns the first letter of every word uppercase, but nothing else. Now, for the words of and the, proper formatting of titles would have those all be lowercase, but the computer just automatically uppercases everything, the first letter of every word. So that's why I have the original versus the title case right here. So once again, we're just going the name of the object. So whatever you named it, remember that you named it something. Then we're going to go inside that object, and we're going to change something about it. And this time we changed it, the title, and we opened and closed it. So now I'm just going to paste one more time here, and this time I'm going to have, this is the, I don't know, I'll just say the replaced title. So you're probably thinking, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to replace a word. So I'm going to take a word from this original title, and I'm going to replace it with something. So if I say want to change the word, okay, well, if uppercase was upper, lowercase was lower, title case was title, what would be replace case? What would replace case be? It would be replace. And replace. And okay, and we'll just hit execute. Okay, well, replace takes at least 2 arguments, 0 given. So you're probably wondering, why did we have these opening and closing, brackets every single time we had something like title or lowercase or whatnot? This is exactly why. Because inside those parentheses is where you're going to put data, where you're going to put stuff. So what am I going to replace? Oh, I'm going to replace the word orange. So orange is the first part of going inside this replace. And then, of course, if I have more than one thing inside of a parentheses, I need a comma. So I'm going to replace orange with what? What did I say I was going to replace it with? Purple. So I'll do purple. So I have now book title going inside the book title, and I'm going to replace something. What am I going to replace? Okay, I am replacing the word orange, comma, with the word purple, end. So I got my opening and my ending of what I'm replacing, and of course that one right there is just the end of this entire long print statement. So if you ever see a situation where you have like 2 or 3 parentheses in a row or something like that, chances are they're there for a reason. If you need to, you can just hover over one, and it should show you where the other one is. Well, it's somewhat doing it properly. It's not really doing it properly, because right now it thinks that's the one that's opening it, but that's okay. You just might have to count them out yourself. But now you see, this is with the replaced title, the tail of the purple octopus. And thus I have now printed out this title. Instead of having to type it all out 18 different times, instead of having to type all of that out, I just had one word, book title. And I made it, book title.upper, book title.lower, book title.title, book title.replace. I just changed something about the original string without having to retype it every single time. Oh, another thing. You cannot have a variable be 2 words. It needs to be 1 word. If you want a space in between, put an underscore. But if you have book title, it's not going to understand it because it's going to think this is one function, this is a second function. When what we want is we want one function. We want one variable. So once you're done all that, make sure you've commented your code properly, although we pretty much have this is the lowercase title, this is the uppercase title. We pretty much already have that in all the text. So it'll be an easy enough job to comment this. So So save it, export it into Word, submit the Word document up through Moodle. Thank you very much. See you at the next video.